Q97.2FM playing your Causeway Coast best music. It is, of course, Q Breakfast with thanks to Diamonds Timber Garden Products. 16 minutes after 10. And, well, we've got a little surprise for you. I'm going to move this out of the road because I can't really see Chris's face. Everybody's saying, look, Chris? Who's that then? It is Chris McQuillan. He is here because he's a very talented young man, aren't you, Chris?
So you tell me, yes.
Yes.
So.
See, giving you a nice compliment this time of the morning is great. It doesn't usually happen. Honestly, doesn't. Chris McQuillan is a writer and director of plays, and he's got another one coming up at the Riverside Theatre. He joined us some time ago for Skyline. You were here. I don't know if people remember that or not, but it was a different show completely, I think, the last time, wasn't it? But you're back again with a new one. It's called Everything Was Forever.
That's right, yeah. It's something a little different, as you say. Skyline was a kind of a murder mystery comedy set in the 1960s. This is very much modern day. It's very much a drama piece, and it's a lot more serious. In a good way. I don't want everyone thinking they're going to come and be depressed, because that's not the case. It is something that hopefully will make you think. The reviews of the script so far have been very good, and it's really a parable almost about teenage life, and
right.
Something that's hopefully quite hard hitting.
It was something then that it would maybe appeal to both teenagers and adults alike. It's
meant to do that. It's meant to re-examine that kind of teenage stereotype that maybe a lot of the older generations would have about this kind of modern day waster stereotype.
Yes, damn kids.
Exactly, that kind of thing. And maybe look at that stereotype and say, well, maybe it's not as simple as it seems. And hopefully then there'll also be something for a lot of teenagers nowadays who maybe are going through something similar, just something to look at and think maybe this is a different take from what everyone else is given it.
Okay. As you say, more serious. Now, the last time Skyline, we were talking just before we come on air, there was 8 characters, 8 cast.
That's right, yeah.
This one's a little bit smaller. You've got 5 people in this one. Can you give us a bit of a rundown on the characters, who the characters are and who's playing them?
Yeah, absolutely. The reason actually for cutting it from 8 was I was advised that if you ever wanted a play to be successful, the smaller the cast, the better, because nowadays theatres won't take a show on unless if there's that many casts. It's too expensive for them, they have to pay too many people.
Yeah.
So that was sort of in the back of my mind, but also I wanted to assemble a really strong group of actors, and I think that's what I've done. David McLaughlin, who was in Skyline, has taken up the lead on this one, and tremendously talented. Gillian Weisner, who's probably well known to a lot of folk.
Yeah.
In the area, is sort of the leading lady. And we've also got Becky Henderson, who's up. She's not actually at rehearsals at the minute because she's filming for the BBC in Belfast, so that tells you enough. And then Rory Powers and Rie, who are both still at school, and they were picked through auditions and they shone out. Really, they were very, very, very strong candidates, and I think I've succeeded in getting a bunch of folk who are extremely talented. Yeah,
absolutely. And the characters are going to be portraying. What characters have you got in there, and can you give us a background onto the characters?
Absolutely, yeah. Dave is playing Mark Brooks. He's the lead character, and he's a history student at university, and he's somebody who has maybe over the last few years before the play become a bit of a recluse almost, and most of the other characters are his friends, trying to encourage him to come back out. Gillian's character, who's also actually called Gillian, is maybe a different kettle of fish. She is someone who's a bit mysterious. She's met out at one night, and she's maybe alluring in a way, but it's in a way that could be a bad influence, and it's something that sort of messes up Mark's life a bit. So they're all basically friends. They're all a bunch of teenagers this time around.
Excellent stuff. Now, the play is Everything Was Forever. Where did you come up with this title, or will that be all revealed throughout?
I think that the meaning of the title will be revealed throughout, but I think if you really want to know, I nicked it actually off
Naughty boy.
I did, off a history book that I read at university by a guy called Alexei Yurchak. It was about the Cold War, and he said everything was forever, and it's just a phrase I liked, and it seemed really to fit. I didn't actually title it until after I'd finished writing it, and when I looked back, I thought, no, that phrase actually fits the mentality of the play an awful lot, so I'll stick with that. I hope he doesn't mind, and I hope it doesn't get...
I don't think he'll mind too much. I don't think so. Definitely not. That's brought light to a book that maybe some people have never read. No, it is one night only, and it's going to be next Friday. It's Friday the 11th of September.
That's right.
And one night only. What time does it kick off at?
8 p.m. In the new refurbished Riverside Auditorium.
And it looks amazing, doesn't it?
It does. They've got new seats. They've got a lot more leg room. I was in it yesterday, and it's very impressive. So it's well worth a shout.
They've done the work on it, definitely. It's 8:00. You were saying it lasts about an hour and a half.
I'd say, but I haven't actually had the luxury of having a full uninterrupted run through yet. But I'd hope somewhere with an interval in the region of an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. And the price for the tickets?
£8 is the flat rate. Yeah.
£8. Pop along, support a local writer and director, of course. Very talented young man. The Skyline went down really well.
Yeah, well, we ran for 3 nights, so it got a good crowd in each of the 3 nights that we did last summer. So hopefully, I'm hoping to repeat a similar kind of success this time.
Excellent. So one night only. Have you got anything else in the pipeline coming up? Have you started writing another, or do you just want to get this one out of the way
first?
Well,
I'm reluctant to sort of divert attention away to another script. There's a lot of ideas floating around. There's a political comedy thing floating around somewhere that I've started, but I must get around to finishing. But hopefully, once this is all done and dusted, we'll see what's up for next summer.
Well, it is a lot of things are going off by me. It's a lot of work to go in for to do a play from the writing that. You're there directing. You've got all the cast together. It must be hard to get, even with 5. You're saying 2 of them are at school. Fair enough. Summer holidays, great job.
Yeah.
Now they're back. Is it not just a wee bit difficult to get them in for the rehearsals?
It's difficult whenever everyone's got jobs and some people are filming and some people are at school. I mean, it really is, a lot of work to get them all together, but it is doable. And I mean, I did a show there at university as well in England, and I went from auditions to putting on a show in 3 weeks. And if there's something I learned from that, it's that, stay calm because you have to. And
that's a lot to do in 3 weeks.
But you can do it. That's I think the moral of the story there.
Doable. So Everything Was Forever. It's next Friday, the 11th, which is tomorrow week. Everything Was Forever, written and directed by young Chris McCullen here. 8:00 kick-off, and the price is £8. You can book your tickets on 70323232 or online at riversidetheatre.org.uk. Pop along and support Chris, local writer and director doing good things. And just a quick background on the play again.
It's that old phrase, the road to hell paved with good intentions, and that very much is how I've been billing it. It's the closest thing to that. It's a young guy, just a normal fella, and he's facing all the issues that everybody faces, but hopefully this will make you think about them in a different way. Excellent. Chris, thanks very much for popping in and talking to us, and good luck with the play next Friday, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. Cheers. All right, cheers.